Alright, got another holster I'm working on here. This one is for a 3-inch end frame. It's going to be pretty basic. It's going to have a fold over belt loop, and the belt loop is going to be for a 1.5 inch belt, 1.5 inch wide belt. That's 1/4 inch thick, which happens to be the exact size of my belt. So there it goes. So I can just use that as a guide to make sure I get that belt loop just right to be right about there. So the way I made the pattern for this one, I already had a similar holster pattern for a 4-inch K-frame, and all I did was I took another hunk of paper, and I put this pattern on it, traced around it, and then increased it for the end frame. Now this is for a 3-inch end frame, so it's going to be a little bit shorter than this one too. And it's going to have a welt. You can see I already have the welted glued in there. What I did is, and also, he wants 2 snaps on it. He wants the retention strap to come across with 2 snaps to ensure that it stays snapped in place. So I made this separate piece. I'll go right here, and that'll have the 2 snaps on it, so that way there's nothing exposed on the inside against the gun. Don't want to scratch this gun. What I did is I did it all in paper. I made the pattern, took my end frame, dummy gun. This one's 4-inch, so it does extend a little bit out of the bottom. I want the muzzle of the gun to be about 1/2 inch in. It's gonna get a lot of use out in the woods, so I want to make sure that the muzzle's protected, but it's still going to be an open muzzle, so if anything gets in there, it can drop out. Then I have the separate piece that goes right there, and of course the belt loop. I've got the leather cut, and I've got the holes poked for the belt loop, and like I said, I've got the welt in place. The way I did the welt is, after this was all cut out, get it out the way, I laid it on a piece of paper and traced around it with a pencil. Then I used my compass that I set at about 1/4 inch and just went from that line 1/4 inch in, and that was my starting point. This is what I came up with. So this will be the welt, and of course I transferred that to leather, and it's been glued on. And you can see by putting the dummy gun on it how that's going to sit in there. I think you can see that. So fold that over. The thing about these metal dummy guns is they're heavier. It makes them a little bit more cumbersome to use, but I couldn't find a blue gun end gun, so I had to get one from Duncan's Customs. It's cast aluminum. It's pretty nice, but a little heavier than I like to work with. And the gun will sit about like that, and like I said, there's going to be a strap that comes around here. It just so happens I ordered a strap for gosh, I don't even remember what it was for, but the strap I got was to they sent the wrong one basically, and it's just in here. But what I can do with this now, it's just the right width for the retention strap, and it's 9-ounce leather. Retention strap's going to go right across there. Here we go. I'll just put it in here. It's going to come across like that. Have 2 snaps on it, and the snaps are going to be on See if I can do this now. Ah, the dummy gun's slipping. That's okay. And the snaps are going to be on here, about like that. And it'll retain the gun, and it'll look kind of snazzy too. Anyway, the strap's going to come up through a hole which I have marked here. Okay, I didn't measure that. I'm eyeballing it. I think I got it. And I'm going to go ahead and punch those holes and cut the slot. The way it's going to be is I'm going to punch 2 holes, one on either end, and then using my chisel, this in here, I'm going to connect the 2 holes, creating a slot. Okay, that looks right there. Make sure I'm going to come in just a little bit. Oh, I got a new mallet, and it says craft tool right on the mallet, so it must be a good one. But honestly, my rubber mallet that I've been using, people have told me that they get a lot of bounce when they use a rubber mallet, and it does bounce a bit. But actually, this one's a little bit lighter, and I'm kind of preferring it. Let me cut the second hole here. And it just pops the hole right on through. Stay. Now check that against my strap. And the hole is just a hair wider, and that's exactly the way I want it. Now I just play connect the dots. It keeps this nice and neat. There's one side. Now if your chisel is good and sharp, you don't need to bang on it with the mallet. You can just push it through. And believe me, this chisel is good and sharp. Put the other side there. Here we go. And there we got our slot. Well, needs a little bit of cleanup there, but that's okay. I'll take care of that. Now, next thing I want to do is cut me off a hunk of this strap. I'll leave it good and long. I can always trim it back later. If you notice, the part that was toward the outside is darker than the part that's toward the inside. That's because this part's protected. There's nothing wrong with it, just when you dye it, it'll be darker. And I'm using this because it's closer to the color of the holster where I'm starting at. Now these are all going to come out just a different shade, but that's okay. It'll look pretty good. So go through here, come around here, here, there it goes. There, and it'll come around. Just tuck that nice and tight. Right there. That'll work out pretty good. Well, let me get some more work done on that, and I'll get back to ya.